Thank you so much. Wow, that's very intense. So that's 2 teams down. We have 2 more to go. I'd like to introduce now our 3rd team, composed of Rachel Anne-Marie Acevado, Rihanna Sandra Chua, Christopher Gabriel Dahay, and Zarina Herona. Please welcome Everest Investments.
Good afternoon. We are Everest Investments and we are here to present our analysis of Concepcion Industrial Corporation. CIC is a holding company engaged in 4 product lines: air conditioning, refrigeration, elevators, and other white goods. The air conditioning and refrigeration segments are part of the HVACR industry and are considered to be their core businesses. These two account for 94% of its present revenues. The rest are part of their 2014 acquisitions, which are part of their growth strategy. 70% of its sales come from consumers, while 30% come from commercial and industrial clients. CIC offers these brands in its portfolio. These brands make CIC the country's market leader, with a 36% share in air conditioning and 25% share in refrigeration. This market leadership is made possible by competent management, of which 2 directors have received awards in business excellence and leadership. Using the discounted free cash flow to equity method, we arrive at a 1-year target price of 46 pesos and 15 centavos, a 12.6% upside from its closing price on November 28, 2014. We recommend a buy rating based on the strong Philippine economy, CIC's sustained market leadership, and the company's solid financials. As of the 3rd quarter of 2014, the Philippines has the 2nd highest GDP growth rate in the ASEAN region. About 87% of this is driven by private consumption and capital investments. ADB expects GDP to grow by 6.4% in 2015, with more government spending. Strong consumption has contributed to the resilience of the economy. Household final consumption expenditure grew by 5.6% per year from 2009 to 2013. This trend is expected to continue due to rising disposable income, increasing OFW remittances, and better access to consumer credit facilities. On the other hand, capital investments are driven by the construction sector. Infrastructure is expected to strengthen in 2015 with the rollout of 9 PPP projects. Moreover, real estate grew by 7.7% per year from 2009 to 2013. Strong demand for property is expected due to low interest rates, urbanization, OFW remittances, and a growing BPO industry. Growing consumption and a robust construction sector drive GDP growth, which reinforces the positive outlook for the strong Philippine economy.
The strong Philippine economy is expected to benefit the underpenetrated HVACR industry. Compared to ASEAN peers, the Philippines has the lowest household penetration rate for air conditioning and the 2nd lowest for refrigeration. These segments grew at an annual rate of 2% and 4.8% respectively. From 2014 to 2018, volumes are expected to grow by 4.7% and 5.4% per year because of strong consumption and construction. CIC leads the industry in the air conditioning and refrigeration segments, with Panasonic as its closest competitor. Market leadership is sustained by its edge in product, price, and distribution. Based on the channel checks that we conducted, CIC has the most comprehensive product portfolio that caters to all customer segments. Our comparison also shows that CIC leads in terms of energy savings for most air conditioner offerings. Households can save as much as 20% more with the company's products. CIC employs a multi-brand pricing strategy. Its high-tier products are priced at a premium, since in this market, high prices are justified by quality and durability. Meanwhile, CIC capitalizes on the price sensitivity of the low-tier market, using competitive pricing for entry-level products. Finally, the company's superior distribution network enables it to reach more consumers. With its extensive and energy-efficient products, flexible pricing, and wide distribution network, CIC has sustained its market leadership in a growing HVACR industry.
CIC's competitive edge translates to an attractive valuation. To determine our target price, we computed the value of each business segment using the discounted free cash flow to equity method and combined these by taking into consideration CIC's ownership interest. Each of the company's revenues were forecasted using a two-stage growth model. For the first stage, we identified macroeconomic variables that drive segment revenues. Construction for the air conditioning and elevator segments, consumption for refrigeration products, and GDP for other white goods. Given this approach, air conditioning and refrigeration sales are expected to grow revenues to 9.6 billion pesos and 3.5 billion pesos by 2018 respectively. This growth is justified by CIC's strong competitive position in both industries. Meanwhile, CIC's new acquisitions will provide an additional 1.1 billion pesos and 0.4 billion pesos by 2018. Cost ratios will maintain per segment, except for the refrigeration business, which will benefit from synergies in purchasing and back-end office support. Maintenance capex was also considered in our cost assumptions. For the terminal growth stage, we used a constant growth rate of 4.3%, which represents a 60-year CAGR of GDP. Based on projected revenues and expenses, cash flows were then estimated and discounted at their respective costs of equity. Each segment's trade-off was derived from their respective regional peers and adjusted to reflect for each segment's capital structure. Based on our methodology, we then arrive at each segment's value contribution to CIC's target price. The core businesses will contribute 40 pesos and 92 centavos, while CIC's new acquisitions will provide an additional 5 pesos and 23 centavos, yielding a one-year target price of 46 pesos and 15 centavos.
We also conducted a price multiple analysis that compares CIC against regional peers. We selected Asian companies similarly engaged in the consumer appliances industry while eliminating outliers. Based on our analysis, we determined that CIC is actually trading at a discount in terms of forward 12 months PE and EV to EBITDA. Also, we compared our target price with other valuation techniques. The results of these analyses reinforce our buy recommendation, as other approaches lead to the same conclusion. Based on our projections, we expect consolidated revenues to rise at a CAGR of 13.3% through 2018. Aside from increasing revenues, operating profit margin improvement from 16% in 2013 to 19% in 2018 can be attributed to cost efficiency in the refrigeration business and high margins from after sales in the elevator business. Our high projected operating cash flows, which are expected to reach 2.4 billion pesos by 2018, will lead to low debt ratios. This provides CIC enormous borrowing capacity for expansion and for addressing competition. High cash flows and low debt ratios provide CIC the flexibility to finance future expansions. Strong revenue growth, improving margins, and financial flexibility establish the company's solid financials and drives value for CIC.
We evaluated CIC's exposure to various risks. Focusing on risks with high probability, we conducted a sensitivity analysis to measure their effects on our valuation. The ASEAN integration is expected to intensify competition to illustrate barriers for new players, which may threaten CIC's market share. But with more than 50 years in the business, we expect the company's strong competitive advantages to maintain its leadership. Electricity rate hikes due to looming power shortage may also decrease demand for its products. To mitigate this, CIC strives to develop energy-saving technology. Our sensitivity analysis shows that it will have to take 20% decrease in forecasted sales to change a recommendation to a sell. Comprising 29% of CIC's manufacturing costs, we also consider the risk of possible price increase of imported metals. To control this risk, CIC uses Carrier's centralized purchasing system for price negotiation and volume discounts. An increase of 40% in metal prices will result in a sell recommendation. We also conducted scenario analysis on both revenues and costs. The results of our sensitivity analysis shows that the company's strong mitigating factors can effectively minimize the impacts of such risks consistent with our buy rating for CIC. We have discussed how the promising Philippine economy and HVACR industry support CIC's growth, together with its strong market position and solid financials. With a one-year target price of 46 pesos and 15 centavos, resulting in a 12.6% upside, we recommend a buy rating for Concepcion Industrial Corporation, as the company is now conditioned for growth. Thank you. We are now